the story is that Rumi was leaving his lesson that he was teaching, and he was with his disciples, and Rumi was right on horseback, this great venerated sheikh. He was already like a celebrity in town. He's this great scholar, you know. And this strange man comes and grabs the bridle of his horse, and he says, "Assalamu alaikum." Alaikum salam. No one had seen him, so they didn't know who he was. So he asked him, he said, "Can I ask you a question?" Maulana says, "Bismillah." He said, "Who is better, the Prophet Muhammad or Bayazid Bastami?" So Maulana says, this is a strange question for a Muslim to ask. The Prophet, of course, is the Prophet, and all the saints, they get their light from the Prophet. Because Bayazid was one of the great Sufis, one of the great ecstatic Sufis, who made these utterances of these realizations, overflowed with the light of God. And so Shams says, "Okay, you say that, but Bayazid Bastami said, Subhani, glory to me," right? As if he reached the peak of realization, the peak of enlightenment. But the Prophet said, Rabbi zidni ilman, oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. Right? And so Rumi looks at him, and he understands what he's getting at, and he says, everyone is a vessel. And each vessel is a different size and shape. And Allah pours in every vessel. And the bigger your vessel, the more light you can take. And he said, Bayazid was a great vessel. And Allah poured into him until he overflowed. And so he spoke from that overflow. He said, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his vessel was an ocean without shore. So no matter how much Allah poured, he said, oh Allah, pour more. And when he said that, Shams gave another, a gaze, which the Shaykh will sometimes give a particular gaze to a disciple, because the Shaykh has it comes from the spirit, it comes from somewhere else, and you know, one of the masters, Habib Mashur al-Haddad, one of the more recent great saints of the last generation, he said people always talk about the evil eye, right? But people don't talk about the good eye. There are people that their hearts are so pure that were they to look at you once, your whole life would change. So this is like this gaze that Shams gave Rumi, and he gazed into him, and Rumi lost consciousness and fell off his horse. Yeah, passed out just from the gaze. And when he came to, and his disciples, right, were brushing him off and things, Shams was gone. So this was the first meeting.